Hello everyone, how's it going? And welcome. Finally, we got the release of Ekko. I'm going to be showing you all the best items, the best runes to go, the abilities, combos, and everything that you need to know about Ekko before you go into your first game. Now, in terms of the build with Ekko, sometimes you can skip like a mana item, we like to call them, like a Luden's Echo or Rod of Ages, but I feel like Luden's Echo is still a really strong item overall, and it's just really nice in terms of how much stats it gives, how much damage it gives over to Ekko as well. But you can skip this item out if you want to. You can just go for something like Lichbane first item, completely skip out the Luden's Echo and go for something like Infinity Orb instead, like this, if you really want to. But I honestly feel like Luden's Echo is going to be a really strong item for Ekko. I hope him a lot as well with all the ability haste and the ability power you get. You then have Death Cap, obviously for the massive amount of ability power that you get and overall increase in your ability power. In terms of boots, Ionian Stasis is really good. You can go for either Stasis or Protobelt. Protobelt is also very good because it gives you that extra dash to go onto your second ability if you need it. But Stasis is also very helpful. Void Staff as well, obviously got a little bit of a buff, like adjustment this patch, more ability power, and also you get the extra magic penetration now, so instead of 40%, it's now 45%. Lichbane is a great item for Ekko. This can easily be procced by your third ability. When you use your third ability, your next auto attack has increased range, and it will also proc the Lichbane passive as well, which causes your next attack to deal bonus magic damage, which is quite nice. And then Morella Nomicon for the anti-heal, gives you a little bit of health as well, ability power, magic penetration, and it also applies grievous wounds. Now in terms of the runes, I think the best rune to go for Ekko is Electrocute. There's not really anything else that you can really go for, to be honest. None of the new runes are very good for Ekko. I think Electrocute is probably by far the best one. In terms of the second tree, again, none of the new runes really help. The only one I was thinking of maybe going is Weakness. Weakness can work quite well with Ekko. Your first ability slows, and your second ability can stun and slow as well at the same time. So this can be helpful. Maybe it might be pretty good. But Triumph is also another good rune because you're going to be in the fights. You're going to be making sure that you're an assassin, so you're going to be right amongst the enemies. So it can be very helpful. And then Hunter Titan, as I mentioned already, as an assassin, as a melee assassin, you're going to be in and amongst the enemies, so you don't want to get crowd control that much, so Hunter Titan will help you out with that. And then you have Hunter Genius for the extra ability haste. Now, with the third rune, or the fourth rune I should say, you can go for Sweet Tooth if you struggle a little bit during laning phase, but I think Hunter Genius is by far the best one. And again, all the new runes don't really help Ekko too much, so going for the standard runes is probably the best option. And then for some of the spells, you have Flash and you have Ignite. With Ekko, when you get level 3, you can play very aggressive and use your combos. But yeah, this is pretty much the standard build. Another item you can go for as well is Nash's Tooth. Nash's Tooth can also work really well with Ekko with the extra attack speed, so you can keep proccing your passive. The extra ability haste is also nice. You also get the extra bonus magic damage on hit as well. That's also another good item if you want to go for that. Or something like Banshee's Veil can also be very good for the extra little bit of shield. Now let's go into a quick practice tool game. If I can find Ekko, there he is. Let's go into a practice tool game, and then I'll show you all the abilities, how they work. I'll give you a few tips, and I'll give you all the combos and everything as well that you need to know for Ekko before you get into your first game. Ekko can also be played in the jungle as well. The build is pretty much exactly the same as the jungle, so nothing really changes in terms of that. Let me just quickly level up and get a little bit of gold as well. I'm not going to buy all my items, just because there's like a little cool tip that you can do with Ekko with in terms of buying items. So I'm going to buy most of the items, but not all of them. We'll leave one spare for now. Going to quickly spawn in some dummies so I can show you all the abilities as well. But yeah, like I said, Ekko can be played in the jungle. He is very useful in the jungle as well. So another AP jungler in the meta is quite nice. Right, let's go over all the abilities. The first one is Z Drive Resonance. Took me a little while to get through that. It is quite late here. It's like nearly 2 AM. Every third attack or damaging ability against the same target deals an additional magic damage. And if the target was a champion, then Ekko gains a little bit of movement speed for a few seconds. You do 150% damage to monsters. So again, they're trying to go towards more Ekko jungle. And you cannot affect the same target for 5 seconds. So the way the passive works is that you kind of need to look underneath the target dummy itself. So if you look at the target dummy, when I auto attack, you can see the stacks at the bottom. So I can go up to 3 stacks here if I want to, and then I get a little bit of extra burst and movement speed because the target dummy works as a champion. Then you can see there's a little ring around the bottom which shows you how long you have until you can start auto attacking again. So when you auto attack as well, there's also a white bar underneath the health bar of the target dummy. This shows you how long you have until that stack is going to disappear. So if I wait right to the end, you can see that the stack disappears. So if I keep auto attacking, it will keep refreshing. And again, as it says, you can use all your abilities as well if you really want to. You know, I can use my abilities on this target dummy here, and I can get the passive proc really easily. So make sure you use your abilities and use your auto attacks to try and get that as much as possible. Time Winder throws out a temporal device, dealing magic damage on hitting a champion or the distance limit. It expands it into a field that slows by 60%, and the device can return to Ekko, dealing magic damage. So if you just throw it out normally, you can see it's just a small little projectile that comes back to you. As it mentions, if you hit a champion, then the projectile gets bigger, and then you also slow enemies as well. And as you can see, you get 2 procs of your passive, because it's going to go once towards them and then once towards back of you as well. So you get 2 procs of your passive if you can do that very well. So you can use this to play the minion wave if you want to, poke down the enemy champions. It also works really well with the combos. But as it mentions, you only get the slow if you hit a champion. So it can work decently well with weakness if you can hit the champions. Parallel Convergence has a passive, attacks against low enemy targets deal additional 10% missing health magic damage. So a nice little passive there that can help you out. In terms of active, you have launches a chronosphere that lasts 1.5 seconds and it slows the enemies. And if Ekko enters the sphere, it detonates, stunning for a few seconds and granting Ekko a shield that absorbs quite a lot of damage, as you can see, for the next few seconds. So the radius is quite big, as you can see. Like sometimes you can go really far with this second ability. So if I throw it down over here, you can see it takes a little bit of time, and as the projectile comes down, you can see that it will slow the target dummy. And then if I walk into it as well, when it falls down, you can see you have to wait a little bit. You walk inside, and there you go. You stun the enemies nearby, and you also get the little bit of extra shield that you can get. You can also use W to get vision in bushes if you really want to as well. So if I disable Fog of War really quickly, and if I put a enemy target dummy, I did not want to do that. Enemy target dummy in there, for example, you can actually use W to get vision of the target dummy if you want to. As you can see, it gives you vision of the target dummy. You can also use this on objectives as well. So this is really good ability to use checking brushes, because if you do get caught, then you'll still be able to use everything else afterwards. You know, you still be able to use your dash to maybe get onto there if you really want to. So really good ability. Again, you can use it here as well. As you can see, you get vision of everyone, so you can use your dash, get on there, get the stun, and start stacking your passive. So really helpful. Really nice ability. You can also use like Zhonya's in the stun if you really want to as well. So say for example, if you're in a little bit of trouble, if you're low on health, you can use your second ability, use your Zhonya's, and because it will still count as you standing inside, then you'll still get the passive stun off, and you'll still get the extra shield. So after you come back from status, you're going to get like that little bit of extra shielding, which is quite nice and helpful. You then have Phase Dive, which is your third ability, which dashes you in a direction. Now Ekko's next attack within the next few seconds gains extra range and causes Ekko to blink to its target to deal magic damage. So I briefly use the ability. Basically, you can see your like attack range is there. It's not really that high of attack range. When you use your third ability, you can see the attack range is a lot longer, and you basically blink to your target. As you can see, it's really self-explanatory. Nothing really to it, to be honest with you. You can use this to go over walls if you really want to, which is quite useful. You could also use this to actually dash to plants as well. So say for example, you want to try and get away to safety. Say you're trying to run away. You can actually use your third ability and dash to plants to create that distance, or even reduce the distance as well at the same time. So this works really well on plants as well, like that. So you can use plants. You can dash those over walls, as I mentioned. So there's loads of little things with the third ability that can definitely come in handy. And then you have Chrono Break, the ultimate, where Ekko becomes untargetable and returns to his position 3.5 seconds ago and heals himself for quite a lot of health. It's increased by 3% per 1% of missing health. So you basically only want to use this ultimate when you're low on health. You can use it for damage if you want to. As you can see, upon arrival, Ekko deals 1,200 damage, which is quite disgusting. So you can use it for damage if you want to. So basically, how you know where you're going to go is a little shadow that you have. So every single time I'm walking, you can see there's a little trail, and I have a shadow behind me. So that's going to be where I chrono break back to, as you can see. Because I don't have cooldowns on, you don't see it disappear. Let me quickly change that, and let me put the cooldowns on. You can see that that's basically where I'm going to dash back to, the little chrono break. I dash back, and then the shadow completely goes because the ability's on cooldown. So that's also very helpful for you to understand. A very quick tip with the ultimate is you can actually go back to base. This is why I was kind of waiting for the item. You can go back to base, quickly buy items, and you can actually use your ultimate to get back to lane, just like that. Really, really helpful tip. If you want to get back to lane very, very quickly, if you don't want to use your ultimate in terms of damage, if you don't feel like you need it, you can quickly go back to base, buy your items, and then use your ultimate to get back to lane, so you don't have to walk back to lane at all. So that's a little quick tip there for you for that one. And you can also use your W stun as well. So if you chrono break through your W when it's active, then you'll be able to use the stun. So I'll quickly show you how it works. You know, if I use my W, if I walk past it, for example, I can use my ultimate to go back, and as you can see, the target down me gets stunned. So you can kind of like bait people in a way if you really want to. So I can use my third ability, dash away, and then ultimate backwards, and as you can see, it's still going to get stunned. Because of the ultimate chrono break of how it works. So Ekko's kind of still in that same position, or you go through the chrono break. So that's also very, very helpful. In terms of combos, there's kind of like a few basic combos. Your main basic combo is using your third ability with your Q and dashing like this to try and get your passive proc as soon as possible. You just do third ability, first ability, and then it's really, really easy to do. You can do this in melee range if you really want to as well. So you can go QE, and then hopefully by that time your Q will be able to come back, because there's not a lot of time between your Q going out and your Q coming back. This is kind of a basic combo for laning phase. Third ability, Q, and then third ability again. Really, really easy to proc. And then the big one is like using your second ability with this combo. So you can use your second ability, and then when your second ability is about to go off, you can just do that. Quickly jump onto an enemy champion, and you do a massive amount of burst damage. So second ability, third ability over the wall, quickly dash on, use your first ability in your auto attacks. As you can see, about 1,800 damage, which is not too bad for a full build with Ekko. That's everything in terms of builds and abilities and everything. I'll quickly show you the level priority for Ekko. So at level 1, you always want to go for your first ability. This is really good for wave clearing, for poking and everything as well. You can then go for your third ability at level 3, so you can dash away to safety, or even dash towards the enemy champions using that combo that I just mentioned. You then obviously make sure that you go for your second ability as well to have all abilities available. You then want to max your first ability, as this is kind of your main damage source with Ekko, making sure that you deal as much damage as possible. Then you go for your third ability, because you can still do quite a lot of damage with your third ability, and then it's just your second ability last, because your second ability is not really that important, and your third ability and first ability are the ones that deal damage. You want to make sure you level them up as soon as possible. But that's pretty much everything for Ekko. Hopefully you all enjoyed a little bit of a rundown with Ekko. You got all the combos in there, you got the abilities, the build as well. Like I said, you can play Ekko in the jungle. The build is pretty much the same, and also the jungle build and everything is pretty much the same as well in terms of runes. You can just go for like brutal instead of triumph if you want to help with that little bit of wave clear. But anyway, thank you all for tuning into this video. I appreciate it. I'll see you all tomorrow. I'm going to be live streaming pretty much the whole day tomorrow. I'm going to be testing out Xayah with lethal tempo, Ashe with lethal tempo, Caitlyn, Kraken Slayer rune. I'm going to do a bunch of testing tomorrow, so make sure you stay tuned to my stream. Link is down in the description. I'll be live when I wake up tomorrow morning. So yeah, thank you all for tuning into the video. As always, take care. Peace.